you're the first person that I have on the show that has I don't want to call it. It's not even a fetish anymore at this point. It's a passion.
Yeah, absolutely.
For edge weapons, and the only reason why I can say that is because I've had the conversations with you, and we've talked about different knives. I'm not really a knife guy, but I have some understanding of edge weapons, and like man, you've gone further. And when I say edge weapons, like a lot of people's intelligence or knowledge of that would just stop at knives. Man, but you're talking about, bro, yeah.
And Hollywood's very wrong.
Axes. You've talked about spears. Like, basically just a lot of different kind of, that's your world. So what kind of what drives the passion for mastering the edge weapon skills, bro? I mean, I know you're doing the knighthood thing. Is that really is that it? Or is it just something that you're into?
It's a passion, like you just said. And I like to commit to edged weapons when I know they're not as practical as some other weapons.
Yeah.
So definitely. Like you said, like the knowledge thing, right? I'm going to kind of nerd out here, but Hollywood's wrong. Okay. And you have those duels between knights where the guy cuts the other guy's arm off with a sword.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. The sword also doesn't go on the back. It's on, just like a firearm, it's on your shoulders. If it's not shoulders, it's on your hip, waist. If it's too large for your waist, it's on your horse. You can't draw a sword from your back. If you do, you're sitting there, you're grabbing the bottom down here, you're making sure it leaves and putting it back. It's not practical. Could you create some kind of specialized holster or sheath where you can guide the blade out? Yeah, you could, but back in the day, we're talking, they didn't have that. So that's wrong. Arrow quivers, they don't go on the back, they go on your waist, just like a firearm. So when you have a quiver, it's equipped to your waist.
So a quiver is basically like it's like a dump bag.
Just like a dump bag. Yep, on a duty belt. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. I remember I went to the archery range.
Yeah.
Before I put it on my back, I saw everybody else's and I was like, oh shit. And I quickly strapped it to my waist like I knew what I was doing.
Yeah, fake it till you make it, baby.
Yeah, and so I was like, yep. But when I walk around as a knight, I get a lot of praise for wearing my stuff correctly. People, they're like, yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for wearing your sword correctly.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean with the katana, you see it in Hollywood where sometimes on the waist you see the blade edge down, right? The blade is up when you have it on your waist, and the reason for that being is when you walk, the blunt edge of the spine is bouncing and jiggling. If the blade is up, the blade is protected from being dulled.
Oh, makes sense. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So there's a lot. Armor, it's swords, armor, they don't mix. Spears. Spear is king, reach is king. So I love my swords. I commit to my swords even if I know I'm going to lose. A lot of the times if you go to the festival and you start sparring, you start challenging those instructors, the first thing they're going to grab is a pole arm. And you're going to say, man, why do you always use that? And they're going to say, I like to win. That's the practicality of things. Yeah. You can't get in. It's impossible to get in with such a short weapon unless you throw it. If you throw it, you're left without a weapon. Yeah. And if they have armor, that throw it's not gonna put them down. Humans are surprisingly resilient. So the sword, the blade, the edge, those aren't designed to pierce armor. They're designed to cut flesh. In a duel, all you have to do is get the other guy to start bleeding. Yeah. He'll bleed out. So that's why they have to go through the vulnerable areas where like the joints are. But when you see somebody's arm or something like that get cut off, that's not how that works. Every weapon has a different purpose. Swords are kind of ceremonial. They're for like their ceremonies. Yeah. Show. It's like a sidearm. If you're indoors, you would use a sword, something like that. But if you're on the battlefield, it's most likely going to be a pole arm or a spear. Spear is king.
All right. So, what advice do you have for someone interested in learning about self-defense and edge weapons like yourself?
I don't want to give YouTube. YouTube was a fantastic resource for me. I actually started just finding a YouTuber that liked knives, and they collect There's a guy out there that gives his Metal Complex shout out, sponsor me. I used to do his giveaways a lot. I never fucking want to give away, but he gives away like $300 knives all the time.
Yeah,
people ship him knives and he'll sharpen them for you. I got into sharpening from just doing that, and you learn the lingo and how things work through that, what to look for when you're buying a knife.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give me a knife at a price range of like $50, I'm going to tell you that's a mall ninja knife, or I'm going to tell you that's a gas station knife. But if you're showing me a knife from, let's say, SIG, if they sell a knife, they usually sell them pretty good, like an EDC. Might be like $100. $100 range might be something serious for somebody that's interested in getting it. You should start looking at about the $100 range. Anything less than that is really just utility, garage work, boxes. But if you want something survival, $100 and up.
Okay.
Titanium knives, they're lightweight, they're not going to break, they're so well put together, they're detents, their draw speed, all those things you probably didn't even know about, but I'm gonna bring in a couple knives for you, and you're gonna say, holy shit, it's way different.
Yeah.
Way different world when you start holding a $300 quality knife. Then I learned they go up in the thousands.
Yeah.
There's a Higo Rocksteady with a mirror finish, $1,000. I wouldn't buy that, that's too much. But that's a beautiful knife.
That's awesome, man. So how about with the self-defense?
Self-defense. I would highly recommend BJJ. Okay. It's very practical. That's something you can absolutely use in your everyday life.
That's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes, sorry. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, you good.
It's the art of folding clothes while people are still in them. And again, I got a shout out for Hamilton Jiu-Jitsu there. He just started his own company. He's maybe been doing it for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
I want to bring him into my class one day because CCW and self-defense, they kind of go together. So if I can get him to speak for my class for about an hour, that'd be great. I'm gonna see if I can get him out there and do that. But I'll send you the link.
Yeah, that's cool.
Those are things you can use in your everyday life. And you know what he tells me when he trains, and it gives him so much confidence. He tells me whenever he sees somebody smoking or anything like that, he's like, that guy's not a threat to me. Because his stamina is shot from smoking. He's like, I don't even worry about these people. So he walks into a room and he knows. He just knows. He ain't even worried about nothing.